Yeah, so it's day 6 of Try Praying, and today I'm in the kitchen because we're going to be talking about ovens. But first, some words from Jesus. He said, "Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone opens the door, I will come in and eat with him, and he with me." On a cooker, the ignition creates a spark that lights the gas. No matter how the oven is connected and whether you turn it on, without that ignition working to create the spark, the gas will not light and you can't cook. The reason sometimes that ignition doesn't work is that the igniter gets filled with grime and grease from the cooking. The only way to make the oven work again is to clean it of the grime so that it will have a spark again. And that's it, that's life in a nutshell. Sometimes with no spark to life. And so we need to explore why it isn't there. You see, the thing is, in our lives, the dirt and grime of living our lives gets in the way of our relationship with God. And without the Holy Spirit, there simply isn't a spark in our life. So how do we get the spark? Do we become more religious? No. Do we need to pray hard? No. Do we need to go to church? Surprisingly, the answer is no. The thing that we need more than anything is the Holy Spirit. You can't cover up the dirt by being religious. You can't cover up the dirt by praying more. And you can't cover up the dirt by going to church. You need the Holy Spirit to come in and remove the dirt. And how does that happen? Simply by asking God to forgive you, to say that you're sorry for living life in the way you've done without a care for God or anyone else, and that if you do that, He will forgive you and He will make you clean again. Asking God's Spirit to come in and to transform the way you live your life and to put that spark back that you can live life to the full. So let's try praying now about that. God, I'm sorry for the things that have spoiled my life. I know they've got in the way of my relationship with you. Please forgive me and help me to forgive myself as well. I ask you would come into my life right now through your Spirit and make me the kind of person you want me to be. One of the things you could do as a way to pray today is you could go to the door, you could open it, look up and say, "Jesus, will you come in?" It's a simple thing to do. Keep praying for the big issues in your life and keep praying for friends and family who need a touch from God. And today I just want to pray for Angela, who's unwell and in hospital, and we just pray for her speedy recovery. You know, when you pray, something happens. Wilson was a quality inspector. He'd no real interest in faith or religion. He was happily married. He'd initially been a casual drinker, but as it had gone on, he'd become a heavy drinker and reliant on it. One day his wife Leslie announced to him that she'd become a Christian. He thought, where did that come from? But he started to notice small changes in the way she behaved. He was still skeptical, wondering if God really existed. And then about a year later, he was given a copy of the Try Praying booklet. He read it and he did something really simple. He simply looked up and said to God, "Hello, are you there?" Looking back, he says that first prayer, no matter how simple it was the start of a journey that brought lots of change. He started to attend an Alpha course and he responded to that invitation to become closer to Jesus, and he opened his life to him. On one occasion, he says, I had an amazing experience of God's Spirit, where wave after wave of what he described as pure love washed over him again and again. After that, he said to his his wife Leslie, "It's all true. He's real." To which she replied, "I told you he was." He says, by the way, that he's no longer a heavy drinker. God has brought life in all its fullness to him and restored the spark in his life. So that's all for tonight. Good night, God bless. See you tomorrow.